Now, this next news topic, oh boy, if there was a panic button, I would be smashing that panic button so hard, as the troubled production of this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, at least to me, has hit another speed bump. And that is that Texas Chainsaw, I don't know what we were even calling this one, I think it was just called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, following the Halloween 2018 route, has been acquired by Netflix and will be a streaming-only movie option. Oh boy, this is raising all the red flags to me. This movie I already had a bunch of red flags on, because if I remember reading correctly, the original director for this movie either was fired or left after like a week. So yeah, and it's two foreign directors. Now, I'm not saying foreign directors can't do horror, but Texas Chainsaw, at least in my mind, is such an Americanized property that having foreign eyes on a property might... I don't know. I don't know if they'll bring the same sensibilities to it. Also, I'm coming at this from I don't particularly care about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's whatever. I think the first one is... fine. I understand and respect its place in horror history. It's very important as a movie, but I've never really cared about Leatherface as a character. I've never really cared about this as a franchise. But if I am a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, I would be panicking right now. This, to me, raises all the massive red flags in the world. This is not a good sign to me. This to me goes, okay, whoever's making this clearly does not have faith in this movie, because almost all the movies that we've seen recently been acquired by Netflix are studios dumping it because they don't think it's going to make some money.
Exactly. And Netflix picking it up doesn't make sense, because it's not like Netflix is going to make more money on it somehow. Like, that's not how Netflix is run. Unless they for some reason start like renting out certain movies out on a period of time, which I can see them doing, but I don't see it going well. So I don't know, man. I think, what was the one Chainsaw movie that we watched for Five Good Things that one time?
That was just called Texas Chainsaw, I think. Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah, I liked that more than I liked the first one.
Oh, wow. I'm sure some people are going to come for you. I wouldn't be surprised if part of the reason we liked it is just how dumb it was, and also Alexander Daddario.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And wonky 3D.
I think Texas Chainsaw is a hard slasher to do, because you kind of gotta be stupid or like strapped to a table if you get hit by a chainsaw. Whereas like a knife, you can sneak up on somebody, but like a chainsaw is like heavy, and it just doesn't, like, the whole idea of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't make sense to me. And it just, the idea of Netflix acquiring it doesn't make sense to me. It's fine. Whatever. Netflix, do your thing. Just give me Witcher Season 2, and we'll just kind of go from there.
I think that the big reason for me why Texas Chainsaw never really resonated with me is the franchise was just kind of all over the place. Now, that was bound to happen for a lot of horror franchises. As much as Halloween's my favorite, I will openly acknowledge it's like, 5 or 6 various timelines. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure franchise, basically, with Halloween. But Texas Chainsaw has been all over the place and has so many different reboots. Most recently, I think Leatherface was the most recent one from 2017. You watched that one, right? And it had the without saying too much for the people interested in the movie from years ago, it has probably one of the dumbest red herrings in this whole movie of oh, here's the character that it's supposed to be. Oh, nope, it's not. And you're just going, but that other guy was perfect. You did it just to bait us here. So this Texas Chainsaw was supposed to be, like I said, just like Halloween 2018, of a sequel to the original, ignoring all the others, which is probably a good thing, because it gets super, super confusing when you get to Texas Chainsaw New Beginning, the sequels. Maybe I'm coming at this from a non-Texas Chainsaw fan, but I feel like people don't really talk about the sequels as much. People talk about either the original or the remake with Jessica Biel occasionally. But yeah, this is not a franchise that I particularly care about, but if I did, oh, dude, this would be sending me all the red flags right
Yeah.
now. And I am so
agree.
nervous about this. Just going, people were like, well, you liked it when Knives Out got purchased. That's different. That movie hadn't come out yet. That basically, it was Netflix acquiring the rights for these movies to be made. This movie's already like done, and they're like, the studio making it's going, we don't know if we're going to be able to make money off of this. So Netflix, just pay us and you can have it type of thing. And that's very worrying to me.